Well, children might be priceless, but raising them certainly isn't. And a recent survey by the U.S. Department of Agriculture estimated that the cost of raising a child from birth to age 17 is $250,000 for a middle-income family. That is a statistic. But you don't have to be a millionaire to raise a family. If you create a budget and you stick to it, that's the key. And with us is Charles Schwab, Vice President and Financial Consultant, and our good friend, Michael Bonds. Hi, Mike.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's good to be working with you. We've
Always
done this
good
for
to
over
be
a
with
year
you.
now, so
Yes,
it's great.
we love having you here. And you know, there are so many people out there that are just getting started with their families, or
Right.
they're pregnant and they're thinking, oh gosh, I have to really think ahead, because I want you to help us understand this major financial commitment that you're making when you have a newborn.
Yeah, and let me preface it by saying I'm a dad, and being a dad is one of the greatest pleasures of my life.
Of course.
However, having children and adding them to your family also adds expenses. So in addition to just the hospital expenses that you have to contend with, as well as the follow-up visits and now the out-of-pocket costs going to the doctor, you also just the day-to-day stuff you have to think about, and that's clothing, that's formula, that's
Yes.
diapers.
Gosh.
In addition to all those things, you also want to take a look at what may happen to your insurance premiums, because as your family grows, so does your insurance needs. So you want to make sure that you've got enough coverage, and you also want to notify your health care provider to let you know you have a new dependent. And something you may not think about is you want to look in to try to get some life insurance just in case something happens to you as a parent.
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many things, and you know, spending is easy, right? I mean,
Right.
I think spending is easy, at least. I think every parent does too.
We've
but
been working with you
you
on
know,
that,
you've
by
been
the way.
helping a little bit with that part. But the thing that's always so hard is the saving. It's just
Right.
not that easy. So should parents start socking away money even before the baby's born? I mean, what do you think? What's the realistic goal for
Well,
them to
Charles
set?
Schwab did a recent survey and found that 39% of people don't actually participate in their own financial portfolios. So the best place to start is to put together, say, a 6-month, we call it an emergency fund, but 6 months
Okay.
of living expenses.
That's
So
smart.
when you add a new child to the mix, you're going to have to increase what that pile of money is going to be to make sure that you've got enough as you add kids to your family. So that 6-month living expense is a great place to start.
And you and I always talk about the fact that it's just so important to just be prepared and to plan ahead. I mean, that's the point. And so we know that it's just never too early to start saving for a child's education, even because we
Right.
know the cost of that is just keeps on going up. So the question is, when and how should a parent start saving for like a college fund, let's say?
Well, if you were to put $100 away the first month your child is born, and at a 5% rate of return, that would be about $35,000 by the time they reach 18. If you were to wait till they were 10 years old to do that, it would only be about $12,000. So starting early is a key. However, there are lots of ways to put money away for education.
Okay.
Educational savings accounts, custodial accounts, 529s. These are all things that are going to ring true into people's minds. But which one of those is the question? And meeting with a financial professional such as the ones we have with Charles Schwab will help you
Yes.
weed that out and figure out which one is going to be the best for your financial situation.
No, that's good advice. And you know, I want to know what else parents should think about when they're thinking about their newborn coming, their baby's on the way. What are some of the tips you would give them as far as what they should be thinking about
Well,
now?
one thing that kind of escapes people's minds is their estate planning, because the first thing that comes to their mind is, that's what I do to prepare for all the things that I have and who gets them after I die, right?
Exactly.
However, if you want to have a hand in who actually is going to be the custodian of your minor child and their finances, who the guardian is going to be of your minor child if something was to happen to you,
Right.
those are the things that an estate plan will establish.
Okay.
You'll be able to give your input and your desires and have all those pieces in place in case the worst case scenario happens.
And you know, you have to be prepared for emergencies. You just never know. So how can Charles Schwab help with that process then?
Well, you can just give us a call locally at 505-878-1320. Just set up an appointment with one of our professional financial consultants. We can address any of these needs, any of your budget needs, or any other questions you may have. And of course, it's always complimentary.
Yes, it always is. And you are always complimentary. It's always a pleasure to have you with me. Thank you so much,
It's
Mike.
my pleasure.